Hey, what's up, David? This is a quick demo video for you for your fingerprint magnet of a Saber, the KR Sabers AS2. This is installed with a Goth Master chassis. It has a 2-button setup. So within these bubbles here, you'll find the second one from the front. That is your power. The second one from the back is your auxiliary. You'll notice just a little bit of discoloration between those two and the rest. They're a little bit more clear, so that'll be easy to delineate when you get it in person. To get to your chassis, what you want to do is unscrew this piece right here. All right, so we'll unscrew the pommel. Careful not to drop it. You will want to cup your Saber like this, cup your other hand, and go like that once or twice, and it will fall out. Just make sure you do that over a table and don't drop it. All right, and then this is your master chassis. I do have a battery in here for now, but I'll show you how to take that out. This is a battery that came with your kit. You got your 2 switches up here for your 2-button setup. Your red and green Neopixels up here. Now, of course, these are Neopixels, so you can program them to do whatever you like. I did, however, program them for red and green because you have red and green acrylic pieces or lenses right here. So I made them match. Okay. They are basically the cave scene from the Luke Saber when they're off. So they'll bounce back and forth between blinking red and blinking green. When the Saber's on, I believe I made the green stay on and I made the red pulse. But everything does react to the auxiliary button being pressed. But I'll show you all that. All right. You've got the stock V4 up here with the lens cover. All right. So this is a shorter pin with the lens cover. Coming down here, you have a rotating plasma gate piece that you'll see. So you'll see it rotate here as well as on top of the crystal. So you've got your crystal up here, which has its own accent. And then you had this acrylic piece down below that's kind of perforated. I was able to put 2 different 5-pixel strips back to back, and I shoved them up in there so you could get some different shine through. I programmed everything separately, so you do get different kinds of visual effects. All right, of course, your removable battery. You've got your kill switch located right here. This is a board cover that's held on with magnets, so you can simply pull that off. Let me do it over my desk so I don't drop it. All right, it's got 8 magnets that hold it on, so 4 over here. If I can focus in on that. 4 over here and then 4 on the other side. But that's how you get to your SD card and your micro USB. And then also, if you needed to push your battery out, you could do it from right here. And that's your removable battery setup. So I tried as hard as I could to hide all the wiring. You will see a little bit in there in this area right here that was unavoidable, but none in here. All right, so we'll put the battery back in. Snaps in there. You've got a 28mm KR speaker. We'll take our board cover and put it back on. It'll snap back on. I got all the sound fonts on here that you sent me for this, so a majority, if not all of them, I believe are K-Sith. I think they are K-Sith. You've got his new Crate Slayer font that he collaborated with Benji on. So you've got both versions of that, and then the Tusken Slayer, you've got several versions of that as well. All right, so we'll come over here and flip our kill switch. So you can see I gave you a slow turbine down here with your crystal, your actual crystal just pulsing. And we've got your red and green Neopixels going up here for your lenses on the actual Saber. And then we can hit power. Now your crystal chain, your spinning piece will spin there. We went to a fast turbine, but I left your crystal solid. Your green will stay on, and then I've got your red pulsing. All right, and then when we hit auxiliary, everything reacts to the auxiliary button. So either with blaster bolts or with blade lockup. And we'll turn it off. That's how that Saber looks outside of the chassis. You can get a better look over here of what I did right here beneath the crystal. So that was a little tricky to get all those in there, but it worked out well. All right, when putting this into the Saber, you're going to want to line up your 2 switches with your control box. But this kit also came with a slightly longer screw for your Covertech because it will ride in the channel of the chassis, which is right here. All right, so if you just go ahead and you line up your tactile switches with your control box, that screw will find that channel in the chassis and everything will slide in just fine. All right, and we'll lock the pommel in to lock the chassis in and hit power. But before we do, you can see your red and greens going here. We'll hit power. Got some nice shine through in your blade plug. Auxiliary. There's your blade lock up. And we will take the blade plug out. I left it in there to show you that it had some nice shine through. All right, this is your blade retention screw right here, this brass knob. This looks like a 7/8 inch blade. Yep. So we'll put a 7/8 inch blade in here real quick. A little bit of a tight fit, but not too much. I'm going to turn this on until I know for sure I got the blade in. There we go. If my blade is tight in a saber, I won't sand it because I need it for other sabers. If you're going to have one that's dedicated to this, you may want to sand it. If I'm putting a tight blade into a saber and I'm not going to sand it though, I will turn it on so I don't mash on those pins, right? I'll turn it on and I'll slowly put my blade in until I hit those pins and I see my blade light up. That's why I do that. All right, but we'll hit power.
Great Slayer.
A very slim saber, but still with a 28mm speaker, and it sounds very good.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I'm Anakin Skywalker.
You went from a Tusken Slayer V1 to the Tusken Slayer V2, but I believe the V2 has 3 different types of fonts within it, so you have all of those on here.
Great Slayer.
And we're back to the beginning. All right, so your battery that came with this kit is brand new, so you will want to give it a nice charge before you play with this too much. Those batteries don't come charged when they're brand new. All right, but to take it out, again, we'll just take off the pommel here. Kind of bump it out a little bit, bring it out. We'll turn it on from here. All right, and then we can flip it off with the kill switch, which is right here. And it kills power like it should. All right, so that is basically your KR Sabers AS2 with Goth Master chassis. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks, David.